Hello, everyone. Today is Thursday, March 10th, 2022 at 10:24 a.m. in the morning. I was robbed of my sleep again. So, the guy was on his best behavior from Saturday until yesterday. And then this morning was the first time he started that back up again with waking me up at um at about anywhere between 5:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning, several times back and forth every 30 minutes, blasting loud music. So he took advantage of doing it again today. And I really think that he's trying to drive me to want to get frustrated and pack up and leave, and that I will have nowhere to go and end up back on the streets again. And the manager didn't believe me at first, and I kept trying to convince him, and it took him a long time because he was like, no, that's not like him, he wouldn't do it. I'm like, well, basically, that's one thing, as I said, with these gang stalkers, you know they'll try to manipulate people into believing that they're upstanding members of society, while they try to make like as if we targeted individuals are the worst criminals. So I don't know how the guy would react if I went up to him to his face and told him myself about the damn music. But since I'm considered no authority, he'll probably do it more and louder on purpose. So I mean, it's like I didn't get to go to sleep until well, I went to bed at about 1:30 maybe, and because I was up last night, I wrote down 3 recipes that I used to make back then, and I don't remember the exact measurements or the exact ingredients or the exact method or protocol, but I tried to the best of my memory to make certain certain dishes and stuff. Like I wrote down, I typed up on my blog trying to remember how did I used to make that addictive homemade granola bars that I used to make. And I also wrote a recipe that I used to make. That I made one time, called ice cream pie. And you just take regular pie crust from the store, or you can make your own and bake them, and then just put vanilla ice cream or any other ice cream that you want in it, and fill it up like a pie, and eat it. Or if you could put toppings on it, if you toppings like a pizza, if you toppings like a dessert pizza if you want to. And then everybody went nuts over the purple. I guess they were intrigued by that purple, just like I was, because if you ever see a purple sweet potato pie, it is so pretty. And the purple sweet potatoes, they are pretty much larger than regular sweet potatoes. And you can find them at Asian markets, Indian markets, and I was able to find some at the local farmers market, different varieties of sweet potatoes, when I was living in Los Angeles. And living in LA, I experienced fruits and vegetables that I never heard of. Some I like, some I don't like. So I've heard of rhubarb, but I never got to try rhubarb until I went to Los Angeles, and I don't like rhubarb. I heard you can't eat rhubarb raw. You have to cook it or bake it or something. So I never had rhubarb. I've heard of figs, of course, but I've tried figs for the first time in Los Angeles. And I'm not talking about fig Newton. I'm talking about fresh figs. Fresh dates, I tried them. I love fresh dates. But I don't like I don't like dehydrated or dried dates. Yeah. So kohlrabi I never heard of until after I got to Los Angeles. So they had these peas or beans in Los Angeles, and they would grow around spring. I cannot think of the name of them. They're not lima beans, but something similar, and not soybeans either. Not green beans, but I can't think of the name of those beans or something. I used to cook them all the time, and they used to be so good and creamy. I don't remember. Um, I do not remember the name of those kinds of beans or whatever. I'll try to look. I'll try to look. They used to be really good, but anyway. So I was, you know, I worked on 3 food-related recipes last night, and I was too tired to work on the the recipe for my detox baths, and which I'm gonna write down today and put it on my blog. I know I did a video on it, but I wanted to just write down a recipe just how I like it, and just write it down and put it on my blog. So I have a few more recipes somewhere in my storage unit. I thought I had pictures a long time ago of my purple sweet potato pie. They might be on my old Tumblr website. I don't remember. But I don't even have access to those passwords of my 2 old Tumblr websites. But I think I do remember not the sweet potato pie. I think it was just the purple sweet potatoes I took a picture of. Because I think I remember one time for dinner, I treated myself to, making, and I wanted it to be really special. Purple sweet potato and a piece of lamb. Lamb meat. So, lamb to me is like more tender than pork, I think. But goat is tougher than beef. And a piece of goat meat had cracked my tooth on the upper right far back of my mouth. I think it was in 2013. A piece of my tooth chipped off trying to eat goat meat. But, goat meat, I don't know what I was doing wrong that the goat meat was so tough. But the lamb was so doggone tender. Yum. It was more tender than a pork tenderloin. But, it's a shame that we can't have goat and lamb more often, or if we can't have, exotic food. But if you're in Louisiana, you get that blessing and that gift to have different kinds of meats more and fish more often, instead of the same bland, boring stuff in the grocery stores all the time. If you go to the grocery store, that's nothing but chicken, pork, beef, and fish, and the same kinds of seafood all the time. But I mean, not all the time could you end up getting different kinds of fish and stuff. Sometimes it's the same, like catfish and tilapia and stuff. What if you want a different kind of fish? And I don't like basa fish. Basa or what's the other name? Basa and swai fish. Tastes like rubber. I don't like that kind of fish at all. Yeah. but I like salmon. And I've tried fresh tuna. I think fresh tuna steaks before. It's really good. So I'm disappointed that I didn't. I wish I would have known back in 2017 or earlier that if I could have, when I had Section 8 housing, I could have put up a blog or a cookbook or something like that. Because I will always wanted to do that too, do a cookbook or work on some recipes. And, but now I don't have cooking because I would like to do it the right way and experiment, physically experiment in the moment and cook something and then write down the recipes if it come out to taste good. But I'm wondering if the recipes that I wrote down last night, if any of the measurements are off. So, because I kind of don't remember exactly how I used to do, it. I'm thinking about maybe writing some more recipes that I remember that I used to make in the past, and I want to work on that and still work on my short stories and stuff like that. But but anyway, this morning I just had oatmeal with peanut butter and the last of a little bit of milk. Today it looks like it's gonna rain again, and it's supposed to be a little colder tonight. And then tomorrow night it's supposed to be like in the 40s. No. Yeah, I think tomorrow night it's supposed to be like 42 degrees. And then Saturday night it's supposed to be 30. And then after that it's supposed to kind of warm back up a little bit. So, I don't even feel like getting laundry done today. But, I don't know if I'll do laundry today or Sunday or something. I don't know. But I know I must get it done as soon as possible. But, and I gotta take out the trash too. So um, I woke up about 9:30. I woke up at about 9:30 this morning, maybe at like 9:35, and wanted to go back to sleep. So I'm just sick of that big guy with the blue truck that he keeps doing that. It's like no respect at all. And he was giving me dirty looks. And I think even last night he was brightening his lights into my window. So it would make me angry, because it says in the rules, even if it's the last rule, it still says in the rules when you sign the little lease to stay here, the agreement to stay here, you agree to not make noise, especially at night. You agree to not make noise, or you agree to not have loud music and stuff like that. So I've dealt with certain situations like that. And they might be like, well, man, I'm sorry. There's nothing we could do. We can't do anything. But I'm like, yes, there's something, because it's against the rules. Y'all so big on me following rules. y'all so big on people so big on demanding that I follow rules. So y'all are so big on demanding that I follow rules, but then y'all have the narcissistic fake license to be free to do whatever y'all want. But I get sleep deprived and tortured every morning with him doing that, and so who else is right up on me? I have video evidence of him brightening his lights and harassing me with a loud bass. So it's senseless to be harassing and doing that to somebody, and you know but anyway, this lady right here, after a while, she quit being much of a bother, I guess. But she has like, I guess, a friend that comes over, a male friend who comes over on a bike and stuff. But I hate that they come sit outside and freaking smoke, and they're right next door to me. So that's what made me feel like, oh, like ever since I think it was this Saturday, or it was another time I did a live stream, and yeah, it probably was Saturday, because they were gang stalking me really bad. And so I decided that I ain't walking over that area no more. As long as I'm staying here, because it really looks dangerous. Like they would do something dangerous, So if I were to go walk, I have to go go walk elsewhere. So the area north of me and west of me, even east of me, seems kind of like the hood. But south of me, where I'm at now, it seems like the further south, it seems less ghetto and less rough area. So but the hood, as I said, the hood gang stalkers, the ghetto gang stalkers, make you fear for your life. And they probably ain't got no problem with taking you out. So if you see somebody who obviously has one headlight, and that's a gang stalking tactic, but then outsiders will be like, well, that person ain't messing with you, you're the one harassing them, or you need to mind your own business or whatever. But you know that they're targeting you. So you know damn well that you can't drive with one headlight. Your average person can't do it. Only the criminal gang stalkers can get away with it. And I've seen how a gang stalker, when I would be homeless on the streets downtown, a gang stalker would drive by with one headlight or funny headlights, and then the Escambia County Sheriff's riding right behind them, or the Pensacola Police riding right behind them. And if I'm riding with somebody out of town, they have a whole bunch of cars on the other side of the interstate going the opposite direction, and they all coming at me with one headlighters and funny headlights and stuff, and it'd be like almost everybody on the road, and I'd be like, damn. I was wondering, how did I never notice that before? But I heard that a lot of targeted individuals are tricked, that if you become a perp or if you sell out, then all your targeting will end. They find out the hard way that they're targeting doesn't end, and then they make it like as if they gotta insult you harder and hurt you harder, hurt another target harder, in order, I guess, in order to try to save themselves. Like they bust ass to work harder than a regular perp. But I heard that they'll, corrupt you, and then after you got corrupted, if you refuse to play the game anymore, then they'll take you out and kill you. But I heard some people try to say as long as God has his protection on you, or as long as you never sold out, then you know, then the perps won't touch you. But I don't know, because I've heard about targets who never sold out and they still got killed, or somebody tried to kill them. So I saw a video of somebody who was supposedly a targeted individual, that she got stabbed to death at the New York train station. And then I heard that the girl who was hired to commit the murder, was made out to look innocent, and making it like as if she was doing self-defense, because the girl did the target something first, and then the target confronted her, and then the girl turned around and stabbed her to death, and stabbed her like crazy, and then walked off with no remorse, no conscience, nothing. And so then the mainstream media brainwashed everybody to believe that it was the target who was the one who started with the murderous perp. So, but anyway, I woke up this morning with a lot on my mind, and it's been 4 hours now, and I'm still irritated at that big fat demon. He's bigger than me, damn it. So, and then he had that damn dog that he worships. So I don't even know if that dog has fleas. So, but that's why I said me staying here or any other place, it's like you never know what to expect, and nothing is guaranteed. I would even hate for tomorrow to be my last day here or something like that. But as far as I know, I'm, supposed to be able to get to stay here another week. But I've had times in the past, in my past days, years ago, that if I make a complaint about somebody, they would ban me, and that's basically what happened at that Marquette hostel in New Orleans, that they basically found covert ways to ban me. They didn't even outright tell me you're banned, but they instead make up lies and said that the hostel was full on purpose to deter me, and they didn't care how cold it was in February. They didn't care how cold it was. They would they would lie and say that the hostel was full, and get an attitude with me on the phone. After that lady told me, "Oh, you can come to me with anything, or you can talk to me about anything," and then she turned around and treat me like a pest or a bother. But if she figured that, oh, she got so many complaints here, so I'm going to find covert, secret ways to deter her from coming here. So, if they felt like I always complained, but I didn't realize that those people at that hostel, the residents, were gang stalkers as well, even the roommates. Because I had a roommate, perp, and she used to smoke weed. And she used to drive for Lyft. A white car too. And I didn't realize she was a perp, but I know she used to act erratic and act a certain kind of funny and gaslight me and stuff. And then and then after she left, that perp at that Marquette hostel was replaced with a witch from Los Angeles who came all the way to New Orleans talking about wanting to contact I can't think of the name of that high level witch that's in New Orleans. Well, I mean, she's deceased. Oh, I can't think of the name, but I heard. I mean, I don't even know much about witchcraft, you know, but and when I say I don't know much about it, I don't know their techniques or tactics and don't want to learn them. But I heard something about wow, it's at the tip of my tongue in the back of my head. I don't know what's the name of that. I don't know. Remember the name of that witch, and then I hear about the Seven Sisters or something like that. But she wanted to contact, a deceased witch. Came all the way to New Orleans just for that. And she was from LA because there's a lot of witchcraft in LA too. And so she was trying to tell me about all that or whatever. And I think Marie Laveau, that's her name, Marie Laveau. She wanted to contact. And I'm like, oh, this is getting too spooky for me. And then she wanted to try to give me gifts like food and stuff. And I'm like, I wasn't sure to take it, So I wasn't sure if, I felt scared to even accept any gifts or food from her because she probably put spells on her or something. I don't know. But, I'm surprised the video is going a little longer, but it's a little dark in here, but not all that dark. So I mean, and I had that narcissistic perp Lorraine who used to all act like a narcissistic control freak fake friend. And I used to hate her staying there because I used to wish I would be alone. But I could never be alone because she would be discreet about whether she's there or not. So I couldn't even have the whole entire room to myself because she would sneak and hide and you wouldn't know if she was there. So, and then they put an annoying, an annoying roommate there that would violate and disrespect my boundaries. Her name was Brandy, but she was a white female, and she used to disrespect my boundaries and stuff. But I mean, I don't know if people would have said that she had quote unquote ADHD or something. But anyway, just weird stuff. But, even at Union Rescue Mission, they felt like I was a problem person because I always complained all the time. Or certain places I would go, if they figured, well, you always complaining all the time, so we're going to get rid of you. But then if people make a complaint about me, they still get rid of me because then they will hear, like I almost got wrongfully banned from Bodacious one time. She tried. I mean, long time ago, they tried to say, well, we heard numerous complaints about you. Or if I go somewhere else and people be like, well, there's numerous complaints. Even at the YMCA, well, numerous people were complaining about you. So we're going to get rid of you. So if I make numerous complaints about people or people make numerous complaints about me, either way, it's always me who has to go. I always got to be the one that have to leave. Or get kicked out. Or banned. So, I mean, I guess today will have to be the day that I keep my earbuds in all day long. But then, last night I started to get outer ear infections all over again from, keeping my ears covered with the earbuds. But to block out noise. But it's ridiculous to have to hear and feel loud bass all the time. To be bullied and harassed and tortured with ungodly, loud, satanic bass. But, if I've dealt with people fatter than me calling me fat and greedy.